There's been a lot to be thankful for in 2024 on the stock market. As I'm recording on Tuesday, the couple days before Thanksgiving, the S&P 500 is up 26.5%, and the Nasdaq 100 is up 26.3% for the year. So a lot of phenomenal stocks for investors. Today I want to go through 4 stocks to be thankful for, and one stock that started the year off great, but what ended up being a turkey for investors. And I have this guy here to help me, but I'm going to put him to the side. Let's start with the one company that I think really embodies 2024, and that is NVIDIA. The stock is up 180% for the year. Massive growth in artificial intelligence, 90% growth in the most recent quarter. There's more growth ahead with their new Blackwell chips, fewer supply constraints, which may mean a little bit less pricing power, but the revenue train is going to keep going in 2025. And really, this year was all about artificial intelligence. You have new products from Apple, from Alphabet, from Microsoft. The OpenAI had one of the biggest rounds we've ever seen for a private company. All of that has been driven by NVIDIA's chips. So if there's one company that we should all be thankful for, no matter whether you own it or not, it is NVIDIA. Now, this is actually a company that goes way back in the Motley Fool universe, more than a 100 bagger for those long-term investors who have been holding that stock. But the story for NVIDIA has changed over the past few years. It's not just a gaming company. It's not a company that's benefiting from cryptocurrency. You remember that was what really drove demand during the pandemic. Now this is a company that's building the foundations, and not just the chips, but actually the systems that artificial intelligence is built on. Model training, inference, all of this stuff is going through NVIDIA. So not only has this stock done really well in 2024, if you are an investor in Microsoft, Alphabet, Palantir, ASML, all of these companies are benefiting from NVIDIA's phenomenal year. I just want to show one chart because I think this really shows how incredible NVIDIA's year has been. This is trailing 12-month revenue for NVIDIA's segments. And you can see that the data center, which essentially didn't exist as a business for NVIDIA a decade ago, was now almost $100 billion business over the past 12 months. It will pass that $100 billion number in the next quarter, now dwarfs the rest of the company's revenue. So NVIDIA and Jensen Huang, thanks for everything that you did for investors in 2024. The second stock to be thankful for might be a surprise coming into the year. That is Spotify. Shares are up 153%, and it's because everything continues to go right for Spotify. The company is adding more premium subscribers. It's increasing prices. It cut expenses over the past couple of years, so now those margins are going up. That has resulted in a rapid increase in the company's free cash flow. After years as a public company of barely generating any free cash flow and actually generating net losses, Spotify has turned the corner. This is now a profitable company. It is a solid cash flow company, and they're moving into markets that could be even more profitable in the future. In particular, advertising is getting a boost as they move into video. Video is getting not only advertising, they're going to be having their own marketplace for advertising, but also premium is on the horizon as well. So they're going to start competing with companies like YouTube in video. Stack together music, audiobooks, and now video, and I think Spotify continues to have a very bright future. But so far in 2024, this has been one of the best stocks on the market, up over 150%, continues an incredible run that I think is still being overlooked by investors. But a lot to be thankful for from Spotify this year. The third stock that I have on my list is Axon. Axon is another one of those long-time Motley Fool picks, and they just can't seem to stop growing. If you're not familiar with Axon, this is a company that started as Taser International. They made tasers, very popular product. That was a solid business in and of itself. But you can see here, the company has become now what's called a software and sensor company. What that really means is they sell a lot of body cameras and then the cloud infrastructure that goes behind that. So not only uploading video to the cloud so that that can be shared with other people in the law enforcement ecosystem, but also analyzing that video, creating reports. There is a ton of services that Axon is bringing to law enforcement around the world. They're doing that at scale. That has driven an incredible 53% compound annual growth rate for their software and sensors business since 2014. So a decade of that incredible growth. And so far this year, shares are up 148%. That continues incredible momentum for Axon. Over the past 5 years, shares are up 710%. So this is one of the best performing stocks on the market, and that continued in 2024. The final stock that I'm thankful for is one that I've covered here on this channel before. That is General Motors. Surprise, surprise, GM is one of the best performing stocks in the auto sector. Year to date, shares are up 54%, and over the past year, the stock is up 96%. Why is GM doing so well? Because this is a company that makes the most profitable vehicles in the auto industry, big trucks and SUVs. But this is also one for the value investors. Coming into the year, GM shares traded between 4.5 and 5.5 times earnings. Yes, you can get a stock for 4 or 5 times earnings. Today, after this recent increase in the share price, shares are trading for about 6 times earnings, but that's still extremely cheap. And what management is doing with the cash flow they're consistently generating from the business is just buying back stock. They have bought back about 20% of their shares outstanding over the past year. They're going to continue to be aggressive with those buybacks, but it's not just about buybacks at GM. They have a lot of growth potential as well. More electric vehicles are going to be launching in 2025. They have subscription revenue coming from Super Cruise, their level 2 autonomous driving subscription service. And in 2025, we are going to see Cruise fully autonomous vehicles hitting the roads again. They have a partnership with Uber. They're going to be launching in 3 or 4 cities. That's what we know so far. But by the end of 2025, wouldn't be surprised if we're at least a half dozen cities for Cruise. That could be the growth momentum that the company needs to continue this incredible run that GM has been on. One of those overlooked companies that value investors have been looking at for years. Finally, one to be thankful for in 2024. So I think the 4 stocks that really tell what has happened so far in 2024, artificial intelligence, you have NVIDIA, Spotify, all about efficiency, becoming a much better business. Axon continues its growth train, early mover in the cloud services sector, and then a value stock that is becoming potentially a growth company, that is General Motors. Investors should be very thankful for all those stocks, but there's one turkey that needs to be talked about. That is Super Micro Computer. At one point this spring, Super Micro Computer stock was up 300%, but that didn't last. From their peak, shares fell as much as 85%. They're currently down 71% from their peak, even after a nice run over the past couple of weeks. So what happened with Super Micro Computer, and why is this the turkey of the market this year? On August 28th, Super Micro Computer told investors that they were going to be filing their 10-K, the annual filing that gives investors everything that they need to know about what a company did in a year, what their balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement looks like. This is the most important filing that you do as a company, and they said they were going to file that late. On August 30th, we found out that Ernst & Young, the company's auditor, quit because they were, quote, unwilling to be associated, end quote, with the company's management and financial statements. They called into question the independence of the CEO. When an auditor quits a company, that is a massive, massive red flag for investors. And this followed a short report that came out earlier in the year. So now you had a very highly valued company, very, very high multiple, that seemed to be growing extremely quickly. But could you trust their financial statements? And this is what makes a company a turkey, is when you can't actually trust them. Supermicro went through that in 2024. We still don't know exactly when their annual filing is going to be completed. They have hired an auditor, so that should be in the works. But this is definitely going to be a delayed filing. To make matters worse, Supermicro Computer's growth has been driven by NVIDIA's success over the past couple of years. But NVIDIA and Jensen Huang said that they're starting to divert their chips away from Super Micro Computer because they don't want to deal with the headaches that the company has already brought the market and NVIDIA. So when investors can't trust you and your most important supplier can't trust you, that's a terrible place to be. That's what makes Super Micro Computer a turkey in 2024. Now at The Motley Fool, your comments and ideas make us all smarter. So who are your stocks that you're thankful for in 2024, and what's one turkey that you have in the market? Leave those comments in the comments section below. And if you're looking for great investment ideas heading into the holidays, check out fool.com/invest to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now. And don't forget to subscribe to The Motley Fool here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.